Hey YouTube, what you know good? He is the Reverend, this is Project K&M, and we're back with some fresh art goodness. So, what's going on today? Well, we're going to follow up on the previous video with the crossover pick. Last video I drew a virtual YouTuber, and I admit that I kinda sorta went down that rabbit hole. Today, I'm drawing the VTuber responsible for that, alongside the character responsible for me falling down a different rabbit hole years ago. That said, let's just dive in. When it comes to VTubers, I didn't really give them much thought at first. I just kind of thought of them as just regular people with avatars instead of standard webcams, which they kind of are, now that I think about it. I mean, shoot, I have an avatar myself, but that's more in tune with the likes of folks like Matt McMuscles. You know, just a face to go with the voice, but that's about it. But that said, I just didn't care about the whole virtual YouTuber thing for the most part, since much like other online personalities, most of them just didn't seem to bring anything new to the table, with the exception of the avatar. Or they just didn't really provide something that the Rev would find interesting. So the question occurs, just how did the Reverend start looking into these VTubers in the first place? Well, I just happened to see one's live stream pop up in my recommended one week, during the weekend. And that just leads to another question. Why in the world would something that I don't usually watch show up in my recommended? If I don't watch VTubers at all back then, if I didn't watch them back then, why is it showing up in my recommended? The answer is because this VTuber has one very significant factor that we both have in common. We both really like the Touhou series. So this VTuber is going to be the character I draw on the left. That's Houshou Marine, another VTuber who's part of the Hololive agency, like the one I drew in the previous video. And she's pretty versatile in her content, what I've seen. Yeah, I subbed, whatever. She's pretty good at gaming, she's funny, she can actually draw really well too. Thumbs up. Always cool to see another artist. She's a hell of a lot better than me, but I'm working on it. The only con that I can think of off the top of my head is that I don't know if this is just the character's personality or the actress behind it, but she seems she's quite open about her. Well, I'm just gonna say it, her high libido. She just seems kind of randy almost all the time. It's kind of scary. Like, you're right over there. It's just that doesn't sound healthy at all. But as I mentioned, Marine's a big fan of games like Sakura Wars, which I think she grew up with, and the Touhou project. And that one right there is why I started watching her. I too am a big fan of that one. She's cleared several of the games, just straight up streams going from stage 1 to stage 6, take out all the bosses, and sometimes even goes through the extra stages, which tend to be pretty freaking hard, and taking out the extra bosses. But at the time of this video, I'm fairly certain she's gone through the game Perfect Cherry Blossom, but I'm not sure she's actually gone through the PHANTASM stage. I should have checked by now, but I've been really busy with my day job, so I haven't checked her vid archives to see if she's done it yet. Busy dude. But if she's done it, then she'd have to face off against a yokai on the opposite side of this drawing. The character responsible for me getting into Touhou. That would be Yakumo Yukari. And the reason why she tripped me down the Touhou rabbit hole is actually it's actually a little weird, but I'll get to that. For those who don't know, the Touhou project is a series of top-down, arcade-like shoot-'em-up games, all currently being designed and programmed by a one-man team. This man is known commonly as Zune, and he's a big motivator of mine as well. I mean, this guy is capable of so much. The guy does his own coding. He does his own drawings. He makes his own music. I mean, the guy's, again, he's a one-man team. The fact this guy is self-taught in music, etc., etc., just make his own games. That's just something that inspired the crap out of me ever since after college, when my bachelor's degree was not as influential as I thought it would be to get my foot in the door. So I can, you know, pursue my goal of a career in 3D animation. I haven't given it up yet, by the way. I'm just slowly teaching myself 3D modeling alongside with me constantly doing these illustrations. I'm self-taught in illustration, and I guess I'm just gonna have to teach myself 3D all over again. If college isn't gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Easier said than done. But how did Yukari get me into Toho? Well, during my first year of college, I actually got hooked on watching MMD videos on YouTube. MMD is a free 3D animation software. In fact, there's actually been some official series. Like, I actually have a if I actually have the Blu-ray of it. If anyone's ever heard of Sega Hard Girls, that actually had that was an animated series made entirely in that software. But the videos that I was watching back in college, they were just so funny. Just a bunch of random ones you can find. A lot of videos were just 3D models of usually Vocaloids and sometimes game characters just doing who knows what, you know, whatever the animators want to do. From just comedy scenes to fight scenes to just, you know, just who knows what. And the occasional video I would see would feature Toho characters, but I would ignore those because I knew nothing back then. I knew nothing of Toho, and frankly, I didn't care enough to know. I just wanted to see more Vocaloid content. I just saw the thumbnails of these Toho characters, and I just thought they had odder senses of clothing than even the Vocaloids. And to a degree, I still kind of think that. What is that hat? It looks like a diaper. But eventually, I saw this one MMD vid, which was basically just a remake of the, using the audio of it too, of the I Like Trains skit from Ass Stuff. If you've never heard of Ass Stuff movie, fix that. It's hilarious. Just quick, just random scenario skits and scenarios and animations made by, I believe his name is Tom. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I want to say Tomska. Don't worry, I'm gonna link these in the description because I have trouble remembering names. But yeah, the video featured Yukari playing the part of the I Like Trains kid and summoning a train and just running someone over with it. It's like a 3-second video, 5-second video, but I couldn't help but notice one thing, and that was Yukari's outfit. It was odd, yet looked kind of cool. Like, it was, I don't know what to call it. It's like a weird little mishmash, like a Taoist priestess mixed with an aristocratic villain or something. I had no idea what the hell she was, who she was, or what she would do that would require her to wear that outfit, but that just little twinge of curiosity of what is that is actually what led me to finally just hit up the TV Tropes wiki and just find her name in the Toho page, in the character section, and just look up her file and learn just what that outfit design was all about. And when it comes to TV tropes, I can spend several hours on TV tropes just reading stuff, which I did back then and sometimes still do now when I have a minute. Or 2 hours. Speaking of which, 2 hours later, I had actually read through several character pages. Most of the pages for Toho on TV tropes. I learned the story, I learned the lore, I learned the idea, thought it was all cool, wanted to know more about it, and here's the important part. I learned that Toho was actually a game series. a freaking shoot 'em up game. And being a fan of Dodonpachi, the 1942 series, and Ikaraga, etc., I had to try it. But I'm not a fan of pirating, so I was like, where am I going to get the actual, where am I going to be able to get an actual copy of this? Thankfully, this is back when I had the money to afford going to conventions, and well, thanks to the pandemic and the stimmy, I might be able to do it once things start to open. But I digress. I was eventually finally able to get to an anime convention and get my hands on a copy of one of the games. It was Mountain of Faith. And after I finally tried the game out for myself and realized that yes, I am a fan of that, it confirmed my suspicion that I'd probably be hooked on this series for life. And thanks to Steam making several of these games available now, alongside other arcade shoot-em-ups, I'm slowly but surely building up my library. Fun fact, the year I got Mountain of Faith was also the same year at that same convention that Zune himself actually showed up here in the States for a panel. It was in Atlanta. It was awesome. I got to see the guy. Hell yeah. Still wish I could have been there with those lucky dudes that were able to join him at the restaurant and share a beer with him. Lucky bastards did that, I swear. Yeah, I still play the games to this day when I actually have time. Read not as often as I'd like to. And I'm still not as good at the games as I'd like. I tend to get flattened by the stage 6 bosses. But I have been following the series regardless, and I'm slowly but surely getting better. And yes, I have definitely drawn a decent amount of Toho fan art. Especially back when I was still sticking to just pencil and paper. Back when I refused to learn how to draw digitally because, you know, it was a big hurdle. I was nervous, didn't think I could do it. So most of the Toho fan art I did was a lot of black and white. Honestly, I should really redo some of those. I think I will. Yeah, I think I will. So yeah, that's basically the story as to what's going on between the reason why I'm drawing these two. It's, I guess I just wanted to draw these two women of questionable age facing off, and I guess we could just consider this drawing a simultaneous thank you / F you for tripping me down these respective rabbit holes. Because I don't know if getting into either of these series would be, these things would be considered mainly a good thing or a bad thing. Especially you, Toho. While I'm no simp for VTubers when it comes to Toho, I have so much merchandise. But you know what, as long as it keeps inspiring this mutt to create more art and try new ideas, stay motivated, etc., etc., I guess it's worth the time risk, the time sinking. Though I still have no clue how long it's going to take for me to be able to clear a Toho game with 1 credit. Baby steps, just like my art. Anyway, I think now is a good time to call it, so you know what? Any thoughts, suggestions, questions, criticisms, complaints, comments, whatever, drop a comment below. And if you dig what I do, consider enjoying this little project. Hit that subscribe button, maybe check my social media pages. Links are in the description. You know, that thing you never read or click, maybe click it, you might like it. So, till next time, you guys take it easy. Memento Mori. And I will catch you all in the next one. Kill the feed.